Farm Girl and I were out venturing around today, and we found this huge operation here in the parking lot of the old Kmart, and we found the co-founder, who is Stan Hayes. And Stan is going to tell us a little bit about, what is it, Operation BBQ Relief?
Yeah, so Operation BBQ Relief started after the Joplin tornado in 2011, and where the competition barbecue community came together and went out just to cook. I mean, you think about it, who better to set up in a parking lot like this than a bunch of guys that go out and do it any given weekend against each other, but to do it for a common good. And so we went to Joplin, thought we'd be there for 3 or 4 days, do 4,000 or 5,000 meals, and go home and feel good about what we did to help down there. After the end of the first day, we cooked those 5,000 meals. And we realized quickly that there's a huge gap at the time a disaster happens. It's the gap from the time, the disaster happens till the time the bigger sustaining organizations, the community itself can get their feet underneath them. That gap is not being filled. And so that's what we come in and do. So since then, we've been in now, this is our 52nd disaster. We've been in 25 different states. And today, just a little bit ago, the 2 millionth meal just left this parking lot to somebody.
So when you guys heard about Hurricane Florence till how long was it?
Up, I'm sure.
Yeah. So how long was it before?
So we had this was still in Kansas City because we had a big event that we had to be at. But we had smokers that are back there. We had box trucks. We had semi trucks sitting in Charlotte before Florence ever hit. Mm-hmm. Knowing that from Charleston to basically Virginia Beach was going to that area was going to be the most severely impacted. So we staged there because we knew we could move from there. Plus we were inland enough.
That's where we were.
Yeah. Well, and we ended up at the Speedway. We got permission to stage at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and so we were there during that time. So we had about 60% of our equipment, 70% of our equipment sitting there. So after several days not being able to move after it hit and just sat here and churned, we started cooking meals there at the Speedway. We did about 10,500 meals just from the Speedway waiting.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We're the only organization that I'm aware of. We came in with 100,000 servings of protein and 100,000 servings of sides on refrigerated trucks and large semi trucks to make sure when we got here, because we didn't know if we'd get cut off. I mean, the minute we were able to get in and we partnered with the Salvation Army to get these meals out, we knew that, hey, we could be on an island for a few days because the water kept rising and lowering and rising in different areas. I mean, 2 days after we got here, the way we came in was impassable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the same with us.
That happened to us too.
So we were trying to be prepared as possible. Now since then we've served all that food.
Wow.
And we're today we hit 225,000 meals out of this parking lot that we've served. About 55 to 60% of it taken by the Salvation Army to communities around Wilmington area. I mean, up to 3 hours away, some of these canteens are driving to get them in the 5 counties around the Wilmington area.
That's fantastic.
And then we have about another 40 to 50 other groups, nonprofits, civics, fire stations coming in taking food out to the communities. So, and then we set up, because of so many people finding out we were here and looking for food, we worked with the Salvation Army to set canteens up right up against the old Kmart, where there'll probably, we walk around there's probably a food service line getting ready to start, so people could come out. I think we were down at lunch today for 2 reasons. I think first Monday, I think people are starting to have to go back to work, and I think the look of potential rain kept some people away today, and so they may have only done 500-700 meals over there, maybe 1,000, where there's been days that they've done 2,500.
And people have their power coming back online now, so it's getting better.
So it is getting better, and definitely around Wilmington we see the the economy picking up, the
Yeah.
restaurants opening up, the little businesses and everything, which is great. That's what we want, and that's generally one of the times that we look at starting to transition. But we're still over 25,000 meals, almost 30,000 meals a day right now.
That's amazing.
And so but most of those meals now are not in Wilmington proper. They're outside of Wilmington. They're
Right.
going to these communities. We're using this as a base camp, mass production area, if you will, to get those meals out.
Yes, that's amazing.
Wonderful.
So
And
cool.
so I imagine you've made it pretty easy for folks to give to the organization. It's all volunteer, right?
Well, yes. I mean, most of them that are here. There are some paid people. I'm the only paid or full-time employee of the organization at this point. But the volunteers, we've had over 450 people from Wilmington with a Wilmington address register and come out here. So the
Fantastic.
outpouring of this community is amazing. You know, the volunteers. I mean, we're running about 120 of non-core. We have about 25 to 30 core volunteers that I don't include in that because they're running, they're flying in,
Yeah.
they're driving in, they've been coming in, and they're the leadership that I have on the ground. So these 120, 130 people that come in, they're utilizing them all over, whether it's logistics, whether it's food production. We break it down too. I mean, we have a sides area where all the sides are produced and the protein area, so we can be more efficient in doing and focusing on one area.
That's so cool.
You know, I think the
Just
other
like
thing,
a huge restaurant.
it is, you know, we talk about it in those terms, but you know, at the biggest restaurant out there, how many meals in a night would they turn?
Exactly.
You know, and last night the discussion was, well, in a month I might turn 30,000 meals,
Yeah.
and we did that
In a day.
today.
Or
In a
a few
day.
hours, right?
Yeah, well, and most of these meals are going out at lunch. I mean, probably, I would say almost 3/4 of the meals go out by 1 o'clock. So it's maybe 6,000 to 7,000 are actually going out for dinner. But, you know, 22 to 23,000 might be going out by lunchtime if we're doing 30,000 in a day.
That's amazing. So you just load them on trucks and they bring them out to where they need them?
And we've been having some of our guys, newer guys, some of our guys that haven't been out in the field for a while, we've been finding those neighborhoods like they just left for to serve that 2 millionth meal. And to be able to, you know, it's always good to look at that person and remind yourself. I mean, we sometimes forget because we're producing so much here what that meal really means. And for us, it's not 2 million meals, it's that one meal that mattered 2 million times.
Yeah. So how can people give to your organization?
It's really easy. You go to obr.org and there's a volunteer button and there's a donation button. It's two things. Yeah.
OBR.org. That makes sense.
And it's two buttons right there at the top. We tell everybody there's a third way that people can give, and they can give by watching this video and sharing it with all their friends. They can put it out on social media, and that's what we asked all the volunteers. If you're out here and you're doing this, talk about it. Tell people what your experience is, because even though you might not have seen that meal get into somebody's hands, you got to see what it meant here to put all those meals together.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for your time and thanks for breaking it down for us. We love
bet.
what you're doing.
Well, thank
We owe
you.
you a big debt of gratitude here in this area. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Texas.
So they cook
keep-
for the volunteers, you
Yep.
say, huh? Okay.
So these guys, Baker's ribs are out of, and they also have fried pies at their place, and they're amazing.
Fried pies?
Fried pies.
What's that?
Basically a pie that's
Fried
fried. It's so good. It's so
It's so
good.
nutritious.
So this trailer right here is Boss Hog. It's got 5 high-capacity smokers on it.
Wow.
And with its own generator.
Ooh, and it
this
smells
generator's powering everything at this corner of the parking lot. So all food production's powered by the Sunbelt generator, one of our big sponsors. And we got 5 here, we got 7 more on this side over here. And then we've got 1 back here behind. So we got 14 high capacity smokers sitting in this parking lot that they're putting out. And most of them are this model that's on here.
So how many pounds do you cook in one of those?
750 pounds in one of those. These two huge ones that are separate, single over here. One can cook 1,400 pounds, and the other one can cook 1,600 pounds. So,
How long does it take to do that?
it depends on what we're running. So if we're cooking pork butts, we're going to run them overnight. That gives us a nice long cook. Everybody can rest and have a peaceful evening, and which is the most important thing for our guys, that they get rest. But then we can do like pork loins or turkey breasts or things like that. They have a good yield, but at the same time, you can turn in 3 to 4 hours. So if you get behind or something,
Just throw a few of those in.
a
So,
few.
Stan, did you say you were a competition barbecue guy?
That's how I started.
That's how you
I
started.
started out competing. I haven't done much in the last couple of years. No, actually, I'm from Kansas City. So yeah, they just happen to be. We have people. I think right now we probably have had people that have come through from 15 different states. Coming out to help us here. So let's walk over through here. Be careful, because on this other side this is protein land, as we call it, and Sidesville is over here, and all the sides are produced down in this area. And you'll see we've got these big, large boilers. Those are 30-gallon boilers over here, and all the way around. So they're producing. We use a meal packet from our friends at Feed the Hunger, and what that does is we're able to take that, augment it with. We do use a lot of the turkey. We'll chop it up and put it in here for added protein, and then we'll add some additional vegetables a lot of times. So this could be a one-pot meal if needed, or it could be added as a smaller set, but much better.
Yeah, well.
For a packaged red beans and rice, it is actually really good. And then when you add the smoked turkey and you add some more stuff,
Nice.
We
I
love
can
red
imagine.
beans and rice. That's like one of our.
So then we've got things like this. You got to see these because not everybody has one. So a big number 10 can that feeds 25 servings. So if you think about it, if we did 25,000 meals today, you just do the math, divided by 20.
Opening a lot of
and
cans.
You open 1,000 cans. Today. So you have to be. It takes up so much room in the dumpsters and everything. So one of our guys took a log splitter, made a can crusher. So
that's awesome.
you throw a can in there, and it turns out like that.
Nice.
So now that's that one.
That's gonna be a heavy bag.
This one,
Yeah.
this is the one that everybody gravitated to. This one, you throw a can in there and then you have to jump on it, smash it and let it go, and then smash it a second time, then it drops out. This is the one we started with until he got here with his Can Crusher 2000.
That's awesome.
And
Just the logistics of all of this. I wouldn't have even thought about that.
I know.
How do you dispose of the cans?
yeah, if we don't have that, it becomes a nightmare because we'll fill up.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
you need trucks.
well, if you look back there, I don't think they picked up for a few days. They keep dropping off, but haven't picked up. But we'll go through 30-yard dumpster a day.
Wow.
Of trash and everything here at this location.
And it looks so clean.
Yeah.
It is. But the end of the day, they come through. We put the tar paper down because if we get pork juice on the ground over here, it would become a skating rink. We could pull that tar paper up and throw it away and put more down if that happens.
Hey, I'm glad that we don't have our hurricanes in the dead of winter.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Hey, we've been to a couple of winter events where we've had tornadoes in outside of Dallas the day after Christmas 4 years ago. I mean, it was horrible because it was cold. These people. It's bad enough you get a tornado, but you get a tornado right after Christmas and it's cold. We had one right after Thanksgiving in Washington, Illinois. That's where we actually served our 500,000th meal. But for us, serving 2 million meals in 7.5 years is big, but it took us 5.5 to do our first million. And it took 25 months almost to the day to do our next
That's how
million.
it happens. Because you're getting so much more efficient.
Yeah, we're getting more efficient. We're getting better equipment. bigger equipment. I mean, we've never had this many semi trucks parked in a parking lot before.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But this community's 1/20th the size of the Houston community, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But we're running some numbers that were Houston-like. That just shows, you know, the need that's been here and the need around the metropolitan area and into the counties around Wilmington. I mean, we did Saturday. We did 43,000 meals and some change there, and that's what we were running for about 5 days, 6 days in a row down in Houston.
That's amazing.
It occurs to me that of all the people watching this video, a lot of them may be fed by you one day.
Yeah, and a lot of them may be still with no power. Out there on their little
And if everybody watching would just give a couple of bucks or 20 bucks, imagine how much money that would be.
That's
our guys will.
I hope.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I mean, that's what fuels us. I mean, is the watchers or the people in social media that see what we're doing and the good that we do, and they donate. I mean, we have some great corporate sponsors that do a lot, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of people doing a little bit that makes the difference in the world.
What's going on over here, Stan?
So these are all prepped for tomorrow morning. So if you come over here, these boxes are styrofoam, and we put these heavy-duty liners. They call them Cambro liners, and tomorrow we bulk out when it goes to the field. So this holds 250 servings in here. So you can take that when you
This
push
doesn't look
lid.
expensive at all.
These styrofoam ones are about 1/8 to 1/10 of the price of the actual plastic ones, like the red plastic ones that are this size. Those cost about $400. These cost about $45.
Wow.
So if somebody doesn't return this, it's not near the hurt as if somebody doesn't return it.
Please return them, people.
And then we have those boxes that you see up there on those carts. Those will hold meals hot for several hours in those brown boxes on that cart, and that'll hold 200 servings in those. And so a lot of times when you have groups coming in that are going a long way, and they may not be able to get those back to us, those, because of the sheer mass that's in there and the way they're packaging, it can keep them hot for 2 to 3 hours. Food safe, no issue. So, but yeah, this is it. I mean, you know, the logistics and everything of setting this up is really an art form. I mean, this is the first time we've rolled into a parking lot and started serving mass amounts of food on day one. And not be able to.
You have to have time to set up.
So it took us 3 days to set up because we're in the middle of the mayhem. And you know, first day was like 13,000, next day is like 17,000, then they're to 22,000. But we also each day built the number of volunteers that were here, so we finally were able to get it worked out.
Maybe hands make light work.
Sheriff McMahon is our sheriff, chief deputy, and we were just, I knew you guys were here, just didn't know anything, and you got a bunch of
Feeding people. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.